Hey guys, how's it going? So what am I working on now? Well, I'm working on a Dodge Ram, happens to be mine, and I'm going to be replacing the driver's seat material and cushion. Let me show you what I got. Now this truck has got 230,000 miles on it. This is when the motor was replaced. The cushion here, as you can see, the material is kind of torn up, but the cushion itself is gone. You're basically sitting on the metal frame of the seat. And I tell you what, on a long drive, that hurts. So I got that little butt cushion there. So I'm going to be replacing just the bottom. The rest of the seat's fine. The seat works fine. It's just the cushion's shot. So what do I got? I bought on Amazon. Let me show you this. I bought on Amazon. I don't even know who makes this stuff, to be honest with you. But I got this seat material here, seat cover. And I'm going to have to cut a hole in the side here for the recliner lever. But yeah, so this is going to go on. This is held on with these channel guides, channel clips, whatever you want to call these things. And then I got a new foam for the seat. So this should make life a lot nicer when I'm driving it. Because I just took this thing on a trip up to my daughter's this past weekend, and let me tell you, that seat was rough. Even with that cushion on there, it was uncomfortable. So anyway, let's get to it. I'm going to take the seat out. Originally I thought I could possibly do it in a car, but it's a little bit too much of a pain. So I'm actually going to pull the seat out. And it should be 4 retaining bolts. You got 2 there, and then in through the back here, you have 2. And they look like 17s or 18s. So let me get it unbolted and see what you got to do from there. There's probably wiring underneath it and a few other miscellaneous things. Might have to deal with the buckle for the seatbelt. I'm not sure how that's attached. It could be part of the seat frame. Who knows? Usually they're not. Usually they anchor into the floor directly, but you never know. So let's get these bolts out. All right, so I put the seat forward, and actually I just realized looking, it actually holds the center rest too. The plot thickens. Let me look this up real quick to find out what's involved, because maybe I'm going to want to do this in the truck. Let me look it up real quick. So yeah, it turns out this is all one piece. This seat and that seat. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take the bolts out. This way I can flip the seat back as far as I can into the rear seat here. So let's start getting these bolts out. That was pretty tight. My battery might be a little bit weak too. Well, let me go change the battery and let me get a short socket too. Short socket, 5 amp hour battery. Let's see if it makes a difference. Yep. All right, so I'm just going to take all the other ones out. I'm not going to make a video and showing you all of that. I don't like to clog up the video with stuff like that. Some of you like it. It's not me. So with the bolts out, these are 15s in the front, by the way. Just maneuver the seat like this, and I can see the bottom of it. And I can see how everything's attached. So hopefully I can get to everything the way I anticipate. We're going to see. Now the problem is I don't know if it's going to stay like that. Yeah, it might. All right. So let me see if I can start manipulating that stuff off of here. Now sometimes it gets so jammed in there that you have to get like a hook tool in to release those brackets, those plastic like clasps that wrap around, because what happens is they wrap around and you have to fold them into place. So let me see if I can't get them out. So one thing I got to do is I got to take this handle off, and it's basically a large Phillips screw in there. And you take the screw out, and then the handle itself just slides right out. So now, if you look underneath here, let me show you what I'm talking about. The seat cushion, seat cover and cushion are held in. Can you see that channel? And you kind of have to work it off of there, just like that. Now you have it in the rear, all the way in the back. Let me get to that. Kind of hard to film that. See that? All the way back inside there. And then it's also up in here. I hope you can see that because I can't see the camera. Let me see if I can see it. Hold on. I gotta contort myself. No, okay. Let me back up. Hold on, sorry. It's right here. Basically, same thing. You have to contort it and pick up on it. One thing that I do use is this tool for those things. I basically get it up inside there and I grab a hold of this part and I basically pull it. And this way you can pull it and undo it. I cannot film this and do this at the same time. At least I don't think I can. Because you have to, it has to go up first before it'll come down. So yeah, I don't think I can film this and do this at the same time. So let me get this thing hooked. Let me see if I can do that first and then show you. There, it's basically like this, and then you got to work it all the way down to basically unhook it from inside there. Once you get that done, that end should come off, and you should have one on each four corners, or not four corners, four flats on the seat, on the front, on each side, and then in the back. As it turns out, there's a bolt there, or a nut there, and there was one there, and there's two up front. You could see that one up there. And I got a funny feeling, yeah, that's what holds this seat down. It doesn't tell you that in the all data. Basically, it tells you got to pull the whole entire seat out. But once it's flipped back, I can unbolt that. So I think the seat will come out. Let me try it. All right, yep, the whole seat comes out that way, and you can leave the frame part inside there. I'm not sure if I would have been able to reach up underneath there to get those bolts. I probably could have. No big deal. I mean, really, it was only what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bolts to hold the whole frame assembly down. This way I could flip it over. So let me put this in the bed of the truck and we get a better view of it. All right, so here you do get a better view. You can see what I'm talking about. And you get those out. And in the back here, get that out. Sometimes you do need that tool that I have, or something similar. It doesn't necessarily have to be that tool. But now you see these indentations here? Basically, that's like a cut in the metal. So on this side, it actually creates like a step for this piece to grab a hold of. I'm actually going to need my tool for that. So let me actually go grab that. So now I'm going to take the tool, and I'm basically going to dig it in here to try to get it off of those things, because this will lock this plastic piece in place. There. So now that's off. So now I should be able to flip the seat back down onto this point, and then I should be able to get that whole cushion off. Let's try it. All right, so I'm thinking this thing should just lift up and off the frame. Might have to manipulate it a little bit. Now hold on, the back actually does tuck into itself. It has the same thing on both sides, so this way you can get around the hinge for the recliner. I really don't want to take the full part of it. I don't have to. Oh, there's a couple more little ones. Let me show you that. Down here, oops, hold on. There are a couple more little ones. See, now this hooked in with this on the back side. So now this has to come down, come out. Probably has one on this side too. Yep. Get that down. Now everything should be undone, I hope. Now let's see if that comes off of there. Probably easier to take the material off first. Hang it up on something. little plastic hooks that caught catching as I'm trying to come out. Alright, so now the whole thing's off of there. And if you look at that seat cushion. Look at that material. You can see that, right? Let me see. Yeah, I mean, look at that. Look how busted up that is. That's just from years of being used. You know, stuff falls apart. What are you going to do? So now, we're just going to take this and toss this to the side. We don't need that. Now, everything here looks okay. The springs look okay. The framing itself looks okay. Doesn't look like anything's broken. Well, actually, yeah, we do have one broken rod here. One on the side. All right. So this went down on here and up on there. And I ain't fixing that. At least I don't think I am. Let's see. Might be able to do something a little unorthodox here. Let's see. All I'm going to do is this. I'm going to try it, see if I can do it. Basically, these are the springs that hold everything together. But what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to tuck, because the rod here, turn that off. The rod here is broken. It's broken right here. So I'm not overly concerned about it. But what I'm going to do is, I can't tell if somebody welded that or if that's factory weld. I'm not saying somebody welded that. I don't think that's factory weld. But I'm going to try to tuck this somehow into the sheet metal here and then around the bottom piece there. This way I have just that extra piece of support there. Let me see what I can wind up doing. Alright, so what I'm going to try to do here is, if you look on that end, I thought the thing was broken, but it's not. It's not protruding down on that end. But look how far out it's sticking over here. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to take a quarter drive extension, just lay it over the edge like that so I could tap it with a hammer. And I'm going to try guiding the other end through to have it protrude. This way I can catch that rod on there. So let's see if I can do this. Sometimes things are a little difficult being one person. It's going. Let's try that again. Extension. All right. So now the rod is sticking through. See it on that side. So now I'm going to try. Sorry about that. Let me see if I can't get this rod caught. Support piece caught here somehow. Okay. So now this is spring loaded down here, so I should be able to just catch it. Yeah, there we go. It's caught. So now, the question is, because this plastic stuff basically the plastic here, it acted like a stopper to keep this thing from moving. So I think, oh, I may have like a quick nut. Let me see if I can find it. All right, so I got this. This is a quick nut. Basically, it's like you push it on and it kind of like locks it. Like a Chinese torture thing where you put your fingers in and it locks them. Same thing. This is a used one, but I figure if I could just get it over the back here. Yeah. That'll just keep that from coming off. I'm not too concerned about up here because the opening up here, this thing, whatever you want to call it, this guitar string, whatever, it actually kind of fits into this opening here, so it's kind of keeping it from going anywhere. All right, so now let's go ahead and get this cushion on, because we're going to do the cushion first. If I tell you what, the mosquitoes around here are killer. Now the back side here, you want to tuck this through the back. You may have to manipulate it a little bit. Get it through. Most of the times these things are not super difficult. I've actually never done one of these before. I have that video on the Silverado, Silverado, same thing, where I did the two front seats, and that was real simple. Now on the back side here, as you see, it tucks around. So now, this is probably going to be the more difficult part. See these stripes in there? That's Velcro. Those two ribs there, that's Velcro. Don't push the Velcro in just yet. Save that till the very end if you can. It'll save you some aggravation. Now, depending on the seat too, you may want to recline it. You may want to have it in a straight up position. This is in a straight up position right now. It's just a matter of tucking it through, getting it pulled through on the other side. Oops, my headlight's going dead. Luckily I have another one. Try to get it pulled through and try to unfurl it, roll it down around the seat. Like I said, don't push down on the center, because the center is where the Velcro is. You can see it taking shape. All right, so let's flip this thing over and see what I got to do here, because I don't even know. It's just a matter of, let me show you real quick. It's a matter of getting this stuff out from inside there and tucked through. So now, once the stuff is through, you can start locking it in place. Let me get everything kind of situated where it needs to be, and then I'll show you the rest of it. Now, usually what I like to do is I like to catch the sides first. Catching the sides first allows you to maneuver stuff around. Plus, the back is the most difficult part of this whole ordeal. Yeah, I'll do that, and then I'll catch the front. But if you catch the sides, at least you can maneuver stuff around still. Now this piece for the recline is going to be poking here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get this all set, and then I'll cut a hole in there later. But these pieces, you have to roll around and snap in place. See that they fit over the channel, just like that. Now this whole thing is probably going to have to go back a little bit, but that's fine. That's okay. And, oh, and that Velcro too. When you go to attach that, you go to push that down. Believe it or not, just sit in the seat. That's all you got to do. All right. So now with those caught, now this is slightly different material than what was on the original seat. This is slightly different here, but I really don't care. It's nobody will ever notice. I'll never notice. It's a slightly different type of material. That's all. So now with that caught, let me see. Here. Let me do this. No, that's not going to work. Okay. So now on the back side here, Make sure everything's tucked in. Now this, yeah. So we're going to catch this part first. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. Then these little end pieces, they seem to be a little bit wider than the channel it's supposed to go onto, but I really don't care. So I may trim it down just a little bit. Let's take a pair of scissors and cut them. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do, because they're a little too wide. And as you see by looking at them, they're not perfectly shaped either. So, but this is some aftermarket stuff. I don't know what it was. The cushion and the material was 150 bucks through Amazon. So let me go get a pair of scissors and trim that down. All right, so what I'm going to do is trim these down a little bit. Still might be a little too wide, let's see. That should work out. Here. All right. And now this side piece. These two latch together. I don't know if you can see that. Hope you can. Okay. Those two latch together. Pull everything down. And then you have the final one here. And this one goes over the other one. So now with all of those in place, now you can catch the front one here. Zoom in a little more. And with this one, you have to rotate it. Actually, is that the one or is this the one? It's kind of weird. I would think it goes like that. Yeah, that's how it goes. I don't know why it has this extra one here. Maybe it's for a different application. I don't know. All right. So, with that said in place, now what I'm going to do is, all right. So now, with this in place, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this down a little tighter, and this right here is where that pieces for the recline. What I'm going to do is take a razor knife and slice it. That's all. Nothing spectacular. Just be careful so you don't go bananas and go too far. That's all. That's all I care about. Now what you can do too is you can tuck the material inside, even though you'll never see it. Just tuck it inside. So now, with that being said, there you go. That's what it looks like. So now here is where those Velcro pieces are. So you're going to push those down. But like I said, when you sit down in it, they're going to get set in place. So there it goes. See? But when you sit in it, it'll do it. So now let me get this seat mounted back up and let's get this job done. So that's done, that's installed. I'm gonna take it for a ride, and this will all settle out and look nice once it settles in a bit. You can see there's a color difference, basically because this is sun faded, this one's not. Eventually you won't even notice it. But yeah, so let me take it for a ride. And one thing I always wonder when I'm working on a seat like that, how many people have farted in that thing? All right, so there you go. I just went on a little road test. I stopped at the gas station, and as you can see, it's settling in. It's looking good. And let me tell you something. Sitting in the truck really puts you up high now. You didn't realize how, at least I didn't realize how far down I was. It probably added a good 1.5 inches, 2 inches to my height inside. So should have done that right away in the very beginning. What a difference. All right, so hopefully you're getting something out of my videos. If you are, hit that like button. If you could, please subscribe. All right, guys, have a great day. Keep wrenching.